Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're digging into your source, the Camino within. Specifically, there's this one chapter, War Up Foncebadon. It's basically a first-hand account, right? About this really tough uphill bike ride on the Camino de Santiago.
Exactly. And the mission here, for you, the learner, is to pull out what this tells us about, well, human connection, motivation.
And finding common ground, maybe. Especially when things get challenging.
Precisely. It's quite revealing.
Okay, so where does it start? The author begins by describing this almost powerful feeling, being strong, really in tune with their body, pushing up this hill.
Yeah, they mentioned that heightened awareness, hearing their own breath, their heartbeat, the feel of the bike beneath them. It's very visceral.
Like being totally focused on this personal challenge.
But then that individual feeling quickly shifts. They run into these two other travelers, older folks, also struggling up the same slope.
Ah, okay.
And there's this immediate connection, a shared sense of purpose, to seeing others going through the same thing.
Right, that instant camaraderie you sometimes find. And they don't shy away from describing the difficulty, do they?
Not at all.
Yeah.
They talk about being exhausted, thirsty, hungry, the whole physical grind.
Yeah.
But what's really interesting is this undercurrent of happiness, despite it all.
Happiness, that seems counterintuitive.
It does, but it seems like the shared struggle itself fostered that connection, that feeling of we're all in this together, like you said. It kind of overrides the discomfort.
Okay, I can see that. Adversity bringing people together.
Exactly. And that leads into a really thought-provoking part of the source. The author brings up an anecdote about their grandfather.
Oh, yeah.
Their grandfather lived through multiple wars in Lebanon, and his perspective was, well, quite unexpected.
Oh, so?
He apparently felt that during wartime, despite the obvious horror, people often became more aware of each other. Kinder, even.
Huh. Kinder during war.
Yeah, his idea was that the shared threat, the common hardship, actually strengthened bonds in a way that easier times didn't. He felt unkindness could actually emerge more easily when things were comfortable.
Wow. That's quite a perspective, a bit provocative.
It is, and the author connects this directly back to their own experience on the Camino.
On that tough climb.
Right. During that difficult uphill stretch, there was this palpable sense of mutual support, people encouraging each other, a real unity.
Okay.
But then maybe on the easier sections or during breaks, like at coffee stops, that strong sense of unity wasn't quite there. Interactions could be different, maybe less positive sometimes.
So the challenge itself was the glue. It created what the author calls that unified recognition of a shared mission.
That seems to be the core idea. When everyone's focused on overcoming the same obstacle, maybe those other differences just fall away.
And the author really spells out the takeaway, doesn't he? Something about the joy of building others up.
Yes, very explicitly. That there's a real benefit, a joy even, in helping each other succeed. It makes the whole effort better for everyone involved.
So, boiling it down, this deep dive suggests shared challenges, even tough ones, can be surprisingly powerful for forging connections.
Definitely. They can build that sense of common purpose. And maybe, paradoxically, adversity can sometimes bring out the better side of us, support, kindness.
Things we might not expect.
Exactly.
Which leaves us with a thought for you, the learner. Consider the uphill battles you face in your own life, big or small.
Where might you find those unexpected allies, people facing the same direction, even if you haven't noticed them before?
And how might leaning into that shared mission, especially when things are difficult, unlock surprising connections? Maybe even lead to achieving more than you thought possible.
Yeah, we're thinking about where a shared challenge could actually strengthen things for you.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. Until next time.